Hi artists, art teacher Abby here today, and I am so excited to make some art with you. We are going to be doing a watercolor resist snowflake from the Sprouts winter box. So let's get out our project card and see what all we need for this project. Okay, so our project card tells us everything we need and some instructions. So we need our watercolor paper, our watercolor paint, paintbrush, a white crayon, salt, and then some things that you'll need to get from your house are a cup for water and some paper towels. So let's get started. All right, I'm gonna start with my watercolor snowflake paper. So you have a piece of paper with some snowflakes that were printed on it for you and some blank paper. So I'm going to show you the snowflake process so that you understand how it works, and then you have a blank piece of paper so that you can make any picture you want. We're going to start with our white crayon, and I'm just going to color in my snowflakes. I know this part's a little tricky because we're using a white crayon on top of white paper, so it can be a little bit hard to see, but just do your best. I'm gonna fill it in. I'm pressing a little bit hard with my crayon so I can get it nice and waxy on the surface. And we have these big fat crayons, these jumbo crayons, which are really good for this process. They don't break as easily as some of our other crayons we usually use. So I'm gonna keep coloring here. And then I'm gonna move to my other snowflake. Okay, now that I have all my snowflakes filled in with my white crayon, I can start adding some watercolor. This is the fun magic part. So we're gonna get out our watercolor set and our brush that comes inside, and we're gonna get our brush nice and wet in our water cup. Now, if you've never worked with watercolor before, you want to remember that water is the most important word in watercolor. So when you're adding water to your color in your palette, you want to give it a nice bath, make it nice and wet with water, and that's going to allow the paint to get wet so that you can actually paint it on your paper. So I'm swooshing my wet brush in my blue here, and I'm going to start with some blue watercolor. Wow, look at that. This is the magic part of watercolor resist. So what happens is the waxy part of the crayon resists all of the water that's in our watercolor paint, which means anywhere we've put the crayon, the watercolor is not going to stick to the paper. Now I'm going to add some purple. You can add any colors you want because this is your picture, you're the artist, so you can use the same colors I'm using, or you can pick whichever ones that you think will look beautiful for your picture. That's the fun part of making art, and you get to decide. I'm gonna add a little bit of red, I think, down here. Let's see what happens if I add some green down on this part. You can also make your colors blend and mix each other like this. Did you see what happened there? I added some green to my blue and it turned a blue-green color, like a teal. That's pretty, I like that color. What happens if I mix it with my red right here? What do you think's gonna happen? Oh, it's making a little bit of a brown color. Let's add some more purple over here. How's yours looking? I bet it's beautiful. I might try some yellow. Some yellow over here. Maybe a little bit of blue to mix into my purple and my yellow. Do you know what color you can make if you mix blue and yellow? Did you say green? If you did, good job. Yellow and blue make green. I'm gonna add some more green over here. Maybe some more purple. I haven't used orange. I might use a little bit of orange over there. I have a rainbow snowflake picture. Wouldn't that be cool if the snowflakes were rainbows? How cool would our winter weather look if they came down as rainbows? I'm gonna add some more blue over here. All right, okay, I think I've covered my whole picture. So now, while all my watercolor's wet, I'm gonna get my little bag of salt. This is salt just like you might find in your kitchen when you're cooking, or you might add a little bit on top of your dinner. We're gonna take some of our salt. I'm gonna dump some out of my hands. You could grab some little pinchfuls with your fingers. You're just gonna sprinkle on some salt. Sprinkle, 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 sprinkle. And what's gonna happen is the salt starts to soak up all the water. And because there's color in our water, it's gonna soak up the color too. And what will happen is it'll start to dry in little speckles, and it'll look really cool when it's done. All right, we gotta let it dry for a little bit and see how it turns out. I have one that I did before that's already dry. I'll show you what it looks like. Here's what it can look like when it's all dry. And I've already scraped off some of my salt. So what you want to do is let your watercolor dry, and once it's good and dry, you can scoop the salt off into the trash can. But look at all those speckles, and my snowflakes are showing through my color. Isn't that so cool? That's so neat. How does yours look? I bet it's beautiful. Now you have a blank piece of watercolor paper, and you can make any type of picture you want on this picture. Here's an example of one that I made on my blank piece of paper. I drew a snowman with a scarf and some swirly snow hills and some snowflakes and snowballs, and then I painted it all fun colors. That was the other picture I decided to make. What are you gonna make on your blank piece of paper? That sounds like an awesome idea. All right, artists. Well, thanks for making some watercolor snowflakes with me. I hope you have fun. I'll see you next time. Bye.